Hello everyone, my name is SiC. Welcome back to Jon Shafer's At the Gates. This is the second episode and I'm recording this back to back with the original episode actually. I've done a lot of talking on the first one, so excuse me if my voice is a little hoarse. I've got a drink right here because I sorely need it. I've spent so much time talking. It's a little bit crazy. Anyway, let's have a look at a bit more of the UI, because I noticed a few buttons up here. For example, we have the caravan button. This is now active because we can go back. In 6 turns it will come back, so I'm not too terribly worried. But we also have a religious beliefs button. And let's see, which religion you adopt affects diplomatic relations with other leaders. You can change it at any time, but doing so angers your old friends. Let's have a look. Nicene Christianity. Arian Christianity, we have already adopted. No, we're not going to be Christian. Let's be pagans. All hail to the old gods. There's no Christianity. There's no room for Christianity in my empire. Anyway, let's have a look. And there are 2 ways to win. Let's have a look. Conquering the capital city of one of the 2 Roman Empire factions is one way to win. Or becoming the Magister Militum and taking over Rome from within by sending 5 clans to become Roman legions. Note that there are 2 Roman factions, the eastern and western halves of the previously whole in better days Roman Empire, and either one can satisfy your victory conditions. Conquering a Roman capital will require locating it on the map and significant military preparation. Although various setbacks will befall the Romans, they start off quite strong and can put up quite a fight. Becoming a Magister Militum is more of an economic victory, as to send a clan to Rome not only means sending it off for a year, but also providing it with expensive late-game equipment. Alright. Right, cool. So that's a little bit about that. Let's finish this turn, let's move on to the next. Let me have a drink. Alright, so as you can see we have a little progress bar above our gatherers, and I think this is the rate of depletion. This guy has been, or this girl has been active for a little bit longer than this one, and you can see this one is a little bit further down than that one is. So after this reaches all the way down, this resource will be gone, will be spent. But right now we are getting a comfortable 4.5 food per turn. This will really help when winter comes. So, clans are idle. So we have our, what was it called again? Surveyor. And he can identify this deposit. So let's have a look. It will take 3 turns to do so. Meanwhile, our explorer can go on and explore a little bit more. So we have the coast. Got a large river. Got fish. Got some grapes, it seems. A large patch of berries, actually. Interesting. Fast school of fish. That's 40 turns of fish. Ooh, that's really good. Alright, settlement is idle. Train clan and profession. We were researching something. Beekeepers. Profession. Hunter. This is what we researched right now. I think he just wants to be something green. I'm not entirely sure. But something with berries will be good. Fruit, honey, olives, winemaker. I don't know, man. Livestock here. I think we have to wait a little bit longer with this guy. We'll keep making some treasure, because I don't know if it's a good thing to increase this guy's statistics right now. And I don't know what this guy is doing. Oh, we didn't make him forage. That is unfortunate. Alright, Clan Alwyn, independent and Northman, has joined our tribe. Alright, cool. So, and we have a lot of rain coming in over here, but not over on this side. That's interesting. Localized rain. Alright, so we have this river that we cannot cross unless it is winter time. And I wonder which direction we should explore, because we have marshland over here, we have some wheat right there, some stone. I think... I don't know. Let's go over here for now. Interface and basic game controls. At the Gates has the coolest tooltips of any game ever made, so be sure to make use of them. Alright, well, high praise to yourself there. Move the mouse cursor over an emphasized word anywhere in the game and you can learn more, even from within other tooltips. The game also has several hotkeys to assist in navigating the interface, which will appear when mousing over a button that has a corresponding key. The most important keys are the spacebar, which opens the clan screen, and enter, which ends the turn or activates the next unresolved high priority notification. Cool, good to know. The world screen is where you spend most of your time and is mostly taken up by the map. The three most important buttons are located in the upper right and involve making high-level decisions which affect your tribe. The selection panel appears in the lower left corner when you click on a map object and provides you with information and commands related to it. Right, we already noticed that when we were putting these guys to work. The three most important screens in the game are the clan screen, the training screen, and the research screen. The latter two both show the tree of the professions that clans can be trained in, once researched. Most other less important game screens can be opened via one of the small buttons at the top of the world screen, or via their associated hotkey. So we have a few more. Strategic view, which allows you to, there's a little bit of a typo there, to see a simplified version of the map from high above. Okay, we have notes mode, where you can write short notes to yourself. That is extremely useful. Open up the game help screen, where you can see, okay, yeah, and this is the menu, I guess, yeah, all right. The world screen. You'll spend most of your time in the world screen looking at and interacting with the map, which most of the rest being spent managing clans. Clicking on a tile with a non-terrain object will bring up the selection panel, where you can learn more about the object in question and possibly interact with it, like telling a unit to start harvesting. The three most important buttons are in the upper right corner. The task button, which automatically points you to the next important decision for the turn, or ends the turn if everything is addressed. This is also where important notifications will appear. The other two big buttons allow you to easily choose a clan to train in a profession and use... Alright, yeah, we know. Very small buttons, blah blah blah, notepad, yeah. Other screens. Most important screen in the game besides the world screen is the clan screen. You can press the spacebar to open or close it. This screen shows you all of the clans in your settlement, which you can train in various professions. It also includes a few important but rare tribe level actions, such as founding a kingdom. You spend a lot of time in this screen. Clans of the go. Oh, okay, yeah. Declare kingdom, increase clan limit, blah blah blah. Cool. The two other important screens are the training screen, accessed from the clan screen, and the research screen, hotkey F1. Both show you the professions you can choose to train a clan in or research. The research screen also includes a number of other bonuses you can acquire besides unlocking new professions. The victory screen, blah blah blah, we've already had a look at that. Founding a kingdom. During the first few years of the game, you'll be on the lookout for new places to move your settlement after you've exhausted the resources in an area. This isn't necessary during the first year, but it's something to think about after your first winter. Yeah, I would say so. After you've developed your economy a bit and found a region with several deposits you'd like to harvest forever, you can use the Found Kingdom command in the clan screen. This permanently glues your settlement to whatever tile it's currently on, but provides it a large increase in its control level, the borders, and gives you a large boost in fame, helping you acquire new clans faster. Founding your kingdom is a big step and costs 20 parchment. This is an action you probably won't be ready for until at least turn 50. Before this, your goal is simply to explore the map and develop your economy in order to open up a larger strategic place in the mid-game. Right, control and borders. This could be interesting because I want to know how to expand this. Oh, and this is tells me the thing. Major factions can become the owner of a tile by having their settlement or other structures nearby. A tile must already be owned and inside your borders in order to construct a structure there. Tiles within your borders also always provide full supply, regardless of the season, or weather, making them an important strategic asset, especially on defense. The control level of a structure or settlement is equal to the border distance, and this can be upgraded by spending weapons to fortify it. The cost of doing so increases each time though, so only do so strategically. Note that foragers may harvest resources from any tile on the map, regardless of whether or not it's inside your borders. Don't forget that they still need supply though. Oh, interesting. So right now, we're working inside of a border, so they don't consume supply. Yeah. Cool. The other factions. There are several other tribes spread across the map, and you'll usually encounter a few within the first year or two of a game. Tribes are each unique in both their strength and behavior, the latter of which is determined by its leader's personality. You're not competing directly with any of the other factions for victory, though they can pose a serious obstacle to acquiring resources and on the battlefield. Two special factions you'll run into are the western and the eastern halves of the Roman Empire. Recent times have not been kind to that empire, and although still strong at the start of the game, they'll grow steadily weaker as the years pass. Your ultimate goal is to either 1. Conquer one of your capital or their capitals, or 2. Take over the empire indirectly by sending enough clans to join it that they seize control of it. The two other special factions are the bandits and the neutrals. Neither one has a leader or conducts diplomacy, and that's the thing about this game. Diplomacy isn't in yet. It will be at some point in the future, which should be around half a year or something like that. There is a roadmap on the Steam forums which tells us about that for a little bit. Let's have a look. You're permanently at war with both. Alright, so this is a neutral faction, but we're at war with them. That is good to know. Bandits will actively come after you, while the neutrals keep to themselves and possess various useful structures around the map that you can freely incorporate into your tribe should you defeat any things present. So this is actually interesting, because I think this is a stone structure. So that's very, very powerful. So diplomacy, how to win. Actually, diplomacy. Every faction leader has a unique personality, which greatly shapes their behavior, particularly their approach towards you. Keeping the other leaders happy, especially those much stronger than you, is an important element of the game. Giving everyone what they want can be difficult though, as leaders will often want contradictory things. Your relationship level, RL, with another leader, measures how much they like you and ranges from -1 or -10 to +10. Influence is usually earned alongside RL, but is instead spent like money to get a leader to do something for you. Reputation is global, hard to earn, and can be spent as influence with any leader. Leverage is the total of all three of these stats, and is what is checked when determining if a leader will ultimately agree to one of your proposals. So that's free statistics. That's quite interesting. When you initially make contact with a leader, a first meeting event occurs. The leader chooses how they will greet you, with a gift, a demand, or simply saying hello based on their personality, and you have a choice of how to respond. This gives you an early opportunity to shape a relationship in your favor with a gift of your own, or perhaps earning some reputation points with a well-timed insult. How to win? We already know how to win. The maps at the gates are a randomly generated set of tiles containing types of terrain. Tiles can also contain resource deposits, we know. Each time has blah blah blah. I know. Supply rating, which determines whether or not units can safely remain on the tile. Avoid extended journeys through snow or deserts, yeah. A tile's terrain can change as the seasons come and go, and things can get pretty bad in the winter depending on how far north you are. This is also very interesting. Very few sources of food can continue being harvested during the cold months, so be prepared. I think we'll be okay. It is also possible for bad weather to randomly afflict tiles, decreasing the supply they provide or even shutting down movement and the harvesting of resources. For example, flooding after rain. Right, so right now it's raining. That might not be so good. Supply, seasons. The changing of the seasons affect a tile in three ways: whether or not food can be harvested, the amount of supply available to units, and how difficult it is to move into. Weather such as rain and blizzards can also randomly strike tiles and dramatically affect their terrain. So let's have a look. Heavy rain, grassland. Right. In In general, when a tile becomes cold, it stops producing food. Berries and meat are exceptions. Oh, interesting. When it gets even colder, all available supply disappears, except inside your borders. When a tile turns into snow, it becomes harder to move through, but once rivers have frozen, they become much easier to cross. There's a full list of seasonal and weather effects. Blizzard, heavy rain, let's have a look. Rain is a temporary weather-based terrain type, which can be added to a tile. Costs 1 additional movement point to enter, greatly increases the vision cost to see into and out of. Alright, flooded scores, blah blah blah, we'll find out that later. Supply, final thing. If a unit ends its turn on a tile which provides less supply than it requires, usually 1, then it has a 1-turn grace period before it starts losing morale and health. When it's not winter, the only tiles which you need to pay attention to in this regard are deserts. This changes completely once it starts getting cold though. Winter time means thinking about the map in a completely different way. Or a completely new way. Tiles within your borders always provide as much supply as needed. To avoid taking damage when supply is lacking, a unit may encamp. This also provides the unit with enough supply for an additional turn, allowing it to continue with whatever task it was occupied with. This slows units down a bit, but the real risk is that it makes them extremely vulnerable to attack, so avoid encamping when enemies might be nearby. It's possible to eliminate the supply available on a tile, and thus grind a powerful enemy down, or enemy army down, by besieging them. This requires having at least 1 more warrior unit than your foe, but can be an excellent way of taking down bandit camps and other strongholds and taking almost no damage in the process. Oh, that's interesting. That's what we'll have to do with this guy. So that's good to know. One last thing to keep in mind is that although advanced cavalry units are both fast and strong, they also require 2 supply instead of 1, so keep this in mind when building and commanding your armies. Advanced interface concepts, man, no, not right now. We have read enough for now. New clan, Clan Alwyn. Unfortunately, it seems we can't stay on our own if we want to keep our heads. Even so, it would be best if you let us do our own thing. Deal? So let's have a look. Northmen. 1 movement point needed to enter snow tiles. So these guys will be extremely useful in winter. They are also independent. Experience gained in all disciplines tripled. Training time for settled professions increased by half, so they don't want to be inside a settlement. Training time for social professions doubled, never has desire. So they basically really want to be out on the map by themselves. We can make them warrior out of those. Let's have a look. Hunter. Right? That could be good. Explorers. They will be a good explorer too, but let's have a look. 2 power. Can identify unidentified deposits. We can hunt. Let's go ahead and do that though. And finish the turn. Let's keep moving. We can now train beekeepers. Learning it took 3 turns. Alright, so these guys are not beekeepers. But we're getting honey. Large beehive. So maybe we can tell them to cancel. We will still get food. We'll move them back in here. Actually, maybe not. This is not the right time, because in 1 turn we will get a hunter. But it's already too late. It's done. They'll be ready for the next turn, though. In the meantime, though, we need to study a new profession. I think let's research honor in 1 turn, because it would be good to have a warrior or something. Right, we've identified a large herd of cattle, and we just got hunters. Merchant armies enter settlements, dig in and camp, move, skip. Right, so for now, to honor. Right, so we might settle these guys. Let's have a look. Pack up, fortify, move, skip. Detmar is the gatherer. So click a few times. Detmar will enter the settlement. The hunter will go over this way. This guy will go over here and identify this deposit to show us exactly what that is. Oh shit, we have a bandit camp. That's good to know. We've got 2 warriors inside. We need to switch disciplines. That's fine. Settlement is idle. Why? Ah, training profession, right. Yugu will become... Cannot train right now. Requires timber. Well, we have timber, no? +3 timber per turn, yeah. Or is this... What is this? Is this not timber? Yeah, that is timber. Why is that? That is weird. Alright, so maybe have the settlement produce treasure for one more turn. We need to study a profession as well. So we get huntsmen, watchmen, feastmasters, and archers. Cost to train is weaponry. Huntsmen as well. So we got hunters and we got huntsmen. Greatly increase the amount of meat produced by your hunters. Training them requires a weapon. Ah, I see. Okay, so this is the basic one. This is an upgraded version of it. We have the watchman. Watchmen can greatly extend your borders and allow you to harvest distant resource deposits by constructing watchtowers from timber. This can be done even outside your existing borders. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe research archers though, and we'll have to purchase some weaponry when the caravan arrives again, which it will do so in 2 turns. Yeah. It's interesting. Expect a chilly winter. The elders have been watching the sky closely and believe the weather during the upcoming winter will be chilly. Alright. So you will go there and you will forage the cattle. Our explorer might not want to go up there. This is interesting as well. I don't know why we cannot cross here. The river maybe? He wants to go around the river? It's kind of hard to tell. Cannot train right now. It's weird. I don't understand why. Winemaker? Oh, because they were gatherers maybe? Oh, maybe. So maybe do winemaker or something. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I'm not entirely sure. But that's my guess. Clan Room. Oh. Frail and imaginative has joined our tribe. Let's have a look. Mary's pretty feverish. Gen's got the runs and Jim's got a broken leg. But other than that, we're good to go. Starts with 5 levels in Discovery. Likelihood of having desires is halved. Likely to get upset within a year if forced into a profession outside of Discovery, and they are frail. -1 movement point, max health is halved. Never engages in feuds with other clans. That's interesting, that's good to know. Tools, weapons, buy 10 for 60. Ooh. It's a bit expensive. Isn't it? Buy 1 for 6. So it's not really cheaper, and we needed 5. So if we buy 5, oh, I don't know what's going on here. Sell 2 for 8. Ah, like that. Right. So now it says 5. Okay. Right. So now we got +5. That's good to know. That is excellent. We're still learning. Not everything is clear yet, but look. The seasons are changing. It's becoming autumn, slowly but surely, and we can now train archers, that is good. Some clans are idle. Let's have a look. This gatherer can no longer forage. Because it is autumn, I suppose. We've got an iron deposit. That is cool, that is really good, I think. So what is this? Supply. Brush, cold. This is good supply. This is low supply, I guess. There is something we cannot do with you right now. Field of grapes. 11 turns of food. Let's maybe move you back into the settlement for now. This guy, though. What are we going to survey next? I think we want to move down here, so let's start surveying these things. Identify that one. Study a profession. Oh my god, there's so much more stuff that we can research now. But for now, this will do fine. Let's have a look. Beekeepers. Spend 10 tools to upgrade. Honey production across the tribe increased by half. Available to beekeepers. We don't have that yet. Farmers can construct farms out of timber or stone blocks on plants and apiaries on beehives. These structures produce more than foraging with a gatherer or reaper. Seems like a good idea to research that next, because we do have some of that stuff that we need. Alright. In 11 turns, the caravan will come back. Clan Detmar is now a winemaker. This is Clan Herrick. We will enter the settlement with you. The explorer will go south again. The settlement is idle, so let's have a look. We have... Yeah, it still says we're lacking the timber. Oh, it's 20 timber. Oh, never mind. Interesting. Alright, so loom. Training a profession. Explorer, we already did that. We don't want to do another one. Autocar. Archer, no. That seems like a bad idea. We had someone else that was promising at that. No, they are gatherers. Hoarders, yeah, so these guys were extremely good. Low fertility, gregarious. Where are our Northmen? Have our Northmen gone? Alright, so what do we need? We need an archer. Autocar will take longer to train. These guys are really good at exploration stuff, though. These guys are good at gathering, so we don't want that. These guys, gregarious. I don't know. So these guys cannot do anything right now, this turn. This cannot be harvested anymore. Is there... Oh, there's this thing still. So let's have a look. This guy actually is going to leave, and they're going to go over here. Apparently they cannot do it this turn. Maybe the next one. Settlement is idle, let's see what we can do with these guys. Detmar, agriculture, 3 to 5. That requires more stuff that we don't have. A winemaker. Someone was good at production. Detmar, right? Low fertility. Herder, obstinate. Oh, that's the clan we just sent out. Ah, right, okay. So let's produce treasure, I guess. Things are not as straightforward as civilization can be. Or at least I'm not used enough to this game yet to really know what's going on there. Alright, so we have our explorer. He will continue down the coast. And what do we have here? Galley, Clan Frieder, Clan Lenhardt. But I don't know who it belongs to. Alright, the settlement is idle. Farmers in 1 turn. Man. Still the question, who do we train as what? This should be possible now. For Clan Detmar. Yeah, now they can become beekeepers. Cool. And nobody's working on the beekeepers right now. So that was something that we needed to do. Right, that is what we were waiting for, to get the wood. We've met Serdic of the Saxons. Alright, so we'll have a look at that in a moment, but... One thing I wanted to remark upon was that it was interesting seeing the winter, or like the first snow, falling around this mountain. Because of course the mountains are a high point. So that was pretty cool. Alright, so we've identified a field of barley. Cool, this guy will go down here, identify that deposit right there. We'll keep moving down the coast, and ooh, this is where we find another settlement. We also have a deserted farm, so we can explore that later on. Meanwhile, though, we met another leader, so let's have a look. Serdic of the Saxons. Greetings, stranger. I seek a fair and friendly relationship with you. Are you of a similar mind? He's competitive and daring. He's an Aryan Christian. Competitive leaders want to be the best, and will see another strong leader as a natural rival. And daring leaders are likely to explore, take a risk, and start a fight, though they don't generally care much about what the end goal is. Interesting. So we have to keep an eye on this guy. His approach is indifferent, so he doesn't really care either way. He's enemies with one enemy, or he has one enemy, but we don't know who it is. I have a gift for you, food. I have a gift for you, treasure. Plus 10 treasure. I'm pretty weak right now. I'm learning. Let's make a friend with this guy. We'll give him some treasure because we have some to spend. Influence. Right. We have one influence over this guy. One. Yeah. Right. Trained profession. Beekeeper. We already did that, no? Yeah, we made this guy a beekeeper. I think. What is this? A noble clan. Click to choose a clan you'd like to ennoble. If you lack sufficient fine cloth. Oh, so we get a noble clan. I see. Yeah, I don't really want to do that right now. So he's a beekeeper. Beekeepers. Doubles the production of honey. Training them requires timber, but for some reason now we cannot move them out of the thing, which is a little bit weird. As for other stuff, what do we want? A gatherer, a hunter, an archer. We have 5 weapons. We should be able to do this for someone, but we made a wrong choice with that stuff, I guess. Let's have a look. Loom. We don't want them because they're going to be unhappy. That's pretty interesting. We have to really think about all the clans and what they're doing, and it's random as well. Alright, so being a beekeeper is a settled profession. That's good to know, because right now we're not making any bee, or not any honey. So this is actually, this was not the right call to make. But I don't want to go back because we already spent all of that wood. So we need to train someone else maybe as a autocar herder. Let's train them up as the other thing. Study a profession, because I think we need it. I don't know, but I think that's something that we need. Gardeners. What does that do? Gardeners double your production of fruit, honey, grapes, and olives. Okay, that's pretty cool. But we will research discovery next, because we have a clan that can do something with that. And I'd like to make use of their skill. Right. Clans are idle. This guy goes over here. Switch disciplines. No. Study a profession. Okay. Now let's have a look. Guides. What does that do? Resource production from hunters, gatherers, reapers, blah, blah, blah. And wood collectors increased by half. Oh, that's good. Traders. We need stuff for that. Let's have a look. Social profession. Cost to train 20 timber. This profession can construct the following structures. Trading posts and surveyors. We have a surveyor, so that is not something we need. Producing fame, that's also not something I am terribly keen on. Knowledge is pretty good, I guess, but I think guides is the most economically viable option there. Right, so the gatherer will forage. Supply critical. Yeah, that's not so good. We're losing -1 per turn now. He's encamped. So he should be okay, I think. We'll find out. Let's finish the turn. Oh. Who is this? Surveyor, supply critical. Oh, that is not good. Let's cancel this. Let's send you back. If we can. Apparently we cannot. Supply shortage. Alright, so right now we're still producing food. Here's a shortage as well. So only currently it provides 0. Armies have 1 turn grace period when they can lack sufficient supply and suffer no ill effects, but each... Alright, so these guys should be okay for another turn, I think. With this guy, not so much. And also this guy, not so much. Encamping gives this army 2 excess supply, but can only be done if no movement points have yet been spent this turn. The clans will wake up the next turn if it has enough supply to meet its demand. Alright, so I don't think we're going to be attacked. Let's encamp this guy. Meanwhile, the Gatherer, Autocar, will move over here. Cannot do anything right now. A new clan has joined. Charismatic and the Riverman. Let's have a look. No extra movement points needed to enter tiles with streams. No extra turns needed to enter tiles with... okay. And Charismatic. Morale for all other clans on the same tile increased by 1/4. Training time for social professions halved. Experience gained in social professions doubled. I don't know what we want to do with that one. Honestly, because the Riverman thing makes me think like he would be a good warrior, an archer. We could make this guy into an archer, but then the other thing... actually extra morale for other clans on the same tile increased by 1/4 could be good for the army as well. You know what? Yeah. And we wanted an archer. So a vendor is going to be an archer. In 4 turns. That should be okay. Well, an Autocar desires something. Uh-oh, here we go. Has developed an interest in switching to a profession in livestock. This is Ralph. This is Autocar. Right, so they want to switch back, and they are not going to this turn. They're going to forage for me right now. Meanwhile, though, this guy supplies a critical. His health is down. Let's send him up. This guy has a supply shortage. You can manage for a little while, but inside... Oh, this is instant. Inside the recently abandoned farm's storage building, your explorer finds a large stockpile of food. Interesting. And I think it's wise to send everyone back to the main thing. So we're going to cancel this as well. You're going to go back. Basically everybody's going back. You're going to cancel this. You're going back whenever you can. Late January. You can now train guides. Cool. Plans are idle. You are going to... encamp here, I guess. Doesn't seem to be able to do much else. You're going to encamp right there. Study a profession. Merchants, tinkerers, galleys. We don't want any of that right now. I think crafting might be okay. But maybe something else would be better. Harvesters. Double the production of gatherers and reapers. Training them requires tools. Okay, so it's a little bit complex still. I don't know exactly what's going on with all these things. Or how they all work together. But I think like the harvesters will be a settled thing. While the other guys, the gatherers, they're not a settled thing. So these guys will improve these guys' production. Could be a worthwhile investment for research. Right, so these guys never did anything because they were waiting for the end of the turn. Alram, supply critical. Right, you're going to move right there, I guess, and then skip a turn. You're going to move right there. Yeah, that's fine. By the way, what is this button? Speak with leader. This. Ah, this is the diplomacy button. I see. I see. Alright, let's finish this turn for now. In 2 turns we will have an archer. We can train someone up as a guide. I think that will be good. Heal. Let's see. Doing so costs 5 oil and 5 cloth, regardless of how much damage has been taken. Ah, I see. I remember. That is not a good thing. That is not a good thing at all. Right, so none of these guys can really do anything. They're all going to be inside for now, or he's going to encamp. He's immobilized, in fact. Right, so everyone is within friendly borders. That is fine. That is good. Alright, so you are going to enter the settlement. We're going to finish the turn. We'll have an archer. And it is springtime. That is good. Alright, so the surveyor. It's still cold, but we should be okay with supply, I think. It's going to move out here. The explorer is going to go down here. The hunter. These were the Northmen. He's going to go back there. And then we have the archer. He's going to move up here. Bandit. Clan Imre, Clan Gerhold, Bandit Camp. Yeah. Right, so we've got the Gatherers, Clan Ottokar. It's going to forage for now. But we should do something soon. Right, the settlement is idle, so Loom, they're going to become a guide, because that's something they were supposedly very good at. These guys, efficient, passionate. They can leave and they can become something else. Can we actually do something with that again? Maybe, I don't know. A gatherer. No, the gatherer should go here, and this guy was a wood collector. He can move right there on the next turn. Wow. Alright, so we've been playing for a while again already, but please leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I'll see you guys for whatever video I do next.